wander in and you can lock in for later.
A bit of a lip there.
Yeah, there's a step up there, well spotted. Yeah. I'll just shut the door. He says falling out the door.
Are we going on down?
Just go on down. I'll come down and catch up in a minute. As usual, I'm late.
That's quite a big step.
Well, we have got some lights, so that's good. Right, originally this part of the building was for the boiler room for that manor house, and oh, there you all are. And now, as you can see, we've turned it into an area where we can use for the theatre. It's going to be toilet areas, and also we're going to turn it into changing rooms, dressing rooms, and everything else that a modern theatre needs. Out of the way, out of sight, below ground. Okay, so, and also there'll be enough rooms, as you can see in our tour around, that some of them will be used by the Performance Cafe, which is what the area where we were waiting is, and that is going to be what we term a Performance Cafe. I don't know what you think of a Performance Cafe, but I think of it something like in the 1930s, 1920s, where you have someone playing a piano, a singer, and perhaps tables all around, people sitting around having their coffee and whatever. So hopefully, as I said on the last tour, it won't be like the lighthouse, where you go to the lighthouse and you have a nice play, and then you come out and you want a meal, and the food's closed. And as one of the people said, I work for the lighthouse. You know, I said, well, you know what I mean, because as soon as the performance is over, it closes down. So we're hoping that the restaurateur, whoever he is, will work in relationship with the theatre, so that when you've seen your show, you can go and have a meal, and the two work together, etc. So that's hopefully what it's going to be. As you can see, make a nice dressing room. Again, toilets. I don't know what that could be. Nice wine cellar, I suppose. I do mind steps up and down as we go deeper in. One of the original floors. We're going to step up behind that. There's a nice ankle trap in the middle there, look. Maybe break someone's ankle. Try not to do so. I can't stand people screaming. There we go. Make a smashing dungeon, this place. We're thinking of sort of hurrying out for a few horror films. Now this area here, as you can probably smell, what you can smell is the diesel oil, because in here was, when it was a college, there was a few great tanks in this area here, and they were full of diesel. So that was a hazardous occupation, taking that out, especially as it had to be cut out to be got in, because it was constructed inside, and when using the acetylene cutters on something that was full of diesel fuel, was a bit hazardous. But lucky enough I didn't have to be here when they did that, so that all passed off well. Obviously, part of the original house here, fireplace there in the corner, old windows. See here, dangerous floor, so I wouldn't go in.
When was it actually last inhabited as family?
Oh, it was, I think in the 18... Well, I don't really know the answer to that question. As a family, I don't really know the answer to that question. No. Best speak to Philip about that. Okay. You know. But yeah, of course it was, the Shelleys went on after Percy Florence died and Lady Jane. How long they stayed here before it started to fall down their ears, I couldn't really say. Small window there. And that was part of probably the fumes escape for the boilers. That blackened hole there.
God, this is great filming.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. Well, you've already had requests for people who want to use it for horror films. been recommended. Were you the last man by any chance?
Yes.
I am.
Splendid. Jolly good. If you just go up to where I was messing around with the electric before we go upstairs. Right, okay, so now the stairway is also, yeah, it's perfectly alright, as long as you don't fall down it, and then it's not alright. Now let me change the lights, so there might be some lights needed upstairs, I don't think so, but I'll change it over anyway. Right, okay, off we go. The green bits are going to stop you cutting yourselves, so try not to jab yourselves on the green bits. Off you go on up. If one takes the floor from the top to the bottom, it's what is termed as a non-pensionable activity. Okay? And will prove 100% fatal. So try not to do that. While we're here, you look out of these windows. This is the entrance gates, and this is where the entrance to the theatre is going to be. And those gates are going to be open, and you come in here. You came through, I think, the door there. You're going to come into the foyer area, and it's also going to be where you come into the performance cafe, which I'll take you out to and show you around a bit later on. Stairs getting too old for this.
How many times did you do?
Once or twice today. Mind your keys fixed it. Now before we go in, we'll just assemble here. This is the medical centre. Here. This is the flats. That apartment there, which was number 6, had the biggest balcony, and it was the cheapest apartment.
Oh.
But of course it's entirely north facing. I can I just draw your attention to this little notice. It says danger, beware of loose floorboards. That means there might be a trip hazard or two, but I've walked up and down loads of times, haven't fallen through any, so it's perfectly safe. But if anything happens, I didn't say that. This way. Assemble in the park, and the theatre will go on in front of the show will go on in front of the theatre. And it's worth having a look at the theatre from the park, looking back at the building, because it's an incredible building. The theatre is the red brick bit that looks sort of Victorian. Okay, you go further through here, and this is where, in 1936, when this part of the building was a girls' school, this was used to be a museum. And you can tell that because the photographs of this room, and it's got this ceiling is visible in it, and also it's got a cellos and stuff like that. So you put two and two together and call it a museum. The tennis courts don't belong to us. They have now gone on to one of the lawn tennis people, and what they've done with them, they've fenced them, made them full size, relined them as you can see, and you pay a set fee. When I was dealing with the apartments, it was £20 a year, and you can book your court online. Nobody else can get in. You're issued a key, so that if you're a tennis fan, there's none of the hassle that used to be of people turning up and waiting for 3 or 4 sessions for someone else who didn't want to get off, etc. You book your time, 365 days a year, and it's working very well. And they've got a professional coach down there, and he's often there